In the decade before the American Revolution, frustration in the American colonies was growing. New taxes and strict trade rules left colonists feeling ignored and powerless under the British authority. Out of this unrest rose a secretive and determined group that would help push the colonies toward independence. They called themselves the Sons of Liberty. The Sons of Liberty were not a single, unified organization, but a network of groups spread across the colonies. Founded in 1765 after the hated Stamp Act, their members included merchants, craftsmen, laborers, and political leaders. Some kept their names hidden to avoid punishment, while others, like Samuel Adams and John Hancock, became well-known leaders. Adams used his powerful speeches to rally public opinion, and Hancock, a wealthy merchant, gave financial support. In New York, men like Alexander McDougall and Isaac Sears helped mobilize ordinary workers. Together, they became the face of colonial resistance. Even before the Sons of Liberty formed, resentment toward Britain was already growing. Colonists felt increasingly angry, restricted, and unfairly controlled as the King of England imposed unpopular laws and taxes. Finally, tensions reached a breaking point when the Stamp Act of 1765 was passed. The Sons of Liberty organized to fight back against this act, a law they saw as an attack on their freedom. The Stamp Act required colonists to buy official stamps for newspapers, contracts, and other documents. To the colonists, this was more than just an inconvenience. It was an attack on their rights. They argued it was unfair to be taxed by a government in which they had no voice. Their rallying cry became, "No taxation without representation." The name, Sons of Liberty, came from a speech in the British Parliament. During a heated debate over the Stamp Act, Isaac Barr described the colonists as the Sons of Liberty, who would resist any attempt to strip away their rights. The colonists proudly adopted the phrase, using it as both a title and a statement of purpose. They felt it reflected their core beliefs, which were, they must defend their natural rights, such as the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that government should only be allowed to rule with the consent of the people. One of the most powerful symbols of their movement was the Liberty Tree, a large elm in Boston where colonists first gathered to protest the Stamp Act. Effigies of British tax officials were hung from its branches as a warning to those who enforced unfair laws. The Liberty Tree soon became a rallying point for patriots, inspiring other towns to raise their own Liberty Trees or Liberty Poles. The Liberty Tree was not just a tree, but a living symbol of American independence and defiance. The Sons of Liberty used both peaceful and aggressive tactics. To spread their message, they distributed pamphlets. They also organized large public gatherings and promoted boycotts of British goods, but they also harassed officials. Tax collectors were tarred and feathered, threatened, or forced to resign. These acts were controversial, but they sent a clear message. The colonists would not accept oppression or tyranny. Their boldest protest came in December 1773. Angry over the Tea Act, which gave the British East India Company control of tea sales, the Sons of Liberty disguised themselves as Mohawk Indians. They then boarded and took over several ships in the Boston harbor and dumped more than 300 chests of tea into the water. This act of rebellion outraged the King of England and became a powerful symbol of colonial defiance. The Sons of Liberty had a powerful influence on the road to the American Revolution. They did more than stage protests. They helped unify colonies that had once acted separately. and helped with the spreading of revolutionary ideas and the belief in freedom. Interestingly, the harsh response from the king only fueled greater resistance, accelerating the march toward independence. In conclusion, the Sons of Liberty were more than agitators. They were visionaries who believed in the people's right to govern themselves. Through bold protests, powerful leadership, and unshakable determination, they helped spark the American Revolution and changed the course of history.